Again draw. And
Ten
win.
Hag. Ten Hag's on the wheel, lah. Ten Hag's on the wheel.
Puliti lah. Puliti. Okay, bye-bye. Come lah, the plot Malaysia. Come.
Come.
Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
You're showing off your bird, cuckoo bird.
Hey, brother. The liver bird. The liver bird.
The liver bird, liver bird, bird lah, all the bird the same. I also got the bird, the devil killing the bird, you see, for dinner.
Anyway. You know that's not true, lah. That's a fantasy, obviously, now. You're living in fantasy. Last few years is the other way around. So, okay, lah, what to do, lah, bro. Let you have your moment of happiness.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys. So we are back on the Plot Malaysia today, talking about some of the games that we're going to be discussing. And of course, Hari is going to share with us which of the two games that we're going to talking about. Definitely, from my side, I'm disappointed as a United fan, which I'll share a little bit more. So, Hari, take it away. What do we have in store for us today?
To be honest, Ram, I'm doing the hosting today, man. I'll let you speak. But we're just going to cover a couple of games. Obviously, it was a short weekend, guys. Limited fixtures this weekend. The rest of the fixtures will be played next weekend. So, the teams that didn't play this weekend, it's a winter break for them. The teams that played this weekend, next week is a winter break for them. So, so that's how it was. So, very few games took place over the weekend. We will review today in a very short episode two of the biggest games of the weekend and two of the big talking points, I would say, from the weekend as well. So let's start off with, I thought it was a bit of a cracker, man, this game at Old Trafford between United and Spurs. Finished 2-2 in a 2-2 draw. But yeah, this was a bit of a cracker, wasn't it, Ram?
Cracker for Spurs, I think. Spurs played really well. I think... apart from Hoyler's third-minute strike, which I thought was brilliant, I thought that set us a good motion for us, because I thought there was something that we lacked, scoring an early goal in the game. And I thought having said that, I thought we were going to be on a momentum to get more goals, probably seal and get the 3 points. But of course, you're right, Hari, it's a cracking game for the neutrals. I won't deny that because it was almost like end-to-end stuff happening at some point. But I think at Old Trafford, it's a bit disappointing for United, for the United faithfuls, just like myself, because you have a team that is supposed to dominate possession, and it's not been the case. A bit of a lackluster in terms of possession. The starting 11 was good, but positioning-wise, in my opinion, was kind of dry. So perhaps I can talk a little bit more on the positioning, later on as well. But overall, I think disappointing. Just relieved that we did not lose the game. But was really, really hoping for the 3 points, Harry, to be honest.
Yeah, listen, I didn't catch this game, but I saw the highlights. And something I noticed from the highlights, maybe you can tell me more on, but what I noticed from the highlights was United scored 2 goals. They took the lead twice, right? They scored, Spurs equalized, then they scored again, and Spurs equalized again. But both I think United only had 2 shots on target in the game, if I'm not mistaken. It was probably 2.
Yes.
And they scored for both. But if you look at both the goals, it's basically what we've been speaking about for months, even years now, man. Even before Ten Hag, right? They were on the break. Both goals were pretty much on the break, with a lot of space for Rashford to run in behind, and then they scored off that. So very much a counter-attacking sort of a game without much possession, patterns of play. And I thought, watching the highlights and hearing from a lot of pundits as well, that from what I understood, Spurs scored 2 great goals, and then Spurs dominated from the moment they scored the second equalizer early in the second half. I heard it was pretty much one-way traffic as well. So is that disappointing for you, the fact that still under Ten Hag, you still don't have any patterns of play, you still get dominated at home? And let's be honest, I think you probably got away with one in a draw there. One more thing as well. I think important to highlight one more thing there as well. I know United were obviously had a few injuries as well, but not as many as Spurs, man. Spurs had about 6 or 7 of their top players missing, and they have a small squad as well. So obviously they had a captain. I mean, their talisman is in the Asia Cup. Bissouma, Matesa, and the African Cup of Nations. Kulusevski, who's been brilliant for them this year, was playing as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then who else that they are missing? They had quite a few players. Madison missing as well,
Yep.
obviously with injury. So that was a decimated squad. Timo Werner had just come in and he had to start straight away. Midfield of Højbjerg and I think Skip, which are basically two players that, I mean, let's face it, they're bottom half of the table team players, right, in the Premier League. Højbjerg's quite aged now. Also, considering all that and the fact that they're still dominated, does that really worry you? And are you still in the Ten Hag in camp?
I think first thing I'm going to say, yes, of course, it worries me because we want to. Hi, Eugene. Nice to, of course, see you here as well. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, it was disappointing.
Yeah,
of course,
I agree, Eugene, 100%.
Yeah, of course, you guys should have won. I know that. Thank God that it wasn't the case. So, but yeah, disappointing definitely because it's a home. It's an Old Trafford. Come what may, you play at your home ground. You need to actually make it count. Put on with a fight. But here's my thought of it, Harry. I mean, I'm still Eric Ten Hag in, by the way. Okay, I've told you this before. We have had these conversations a lot of times. I'm not going to change my mind just like that. Okay, I'm still Eric Ten Hag in. I do believe that the formula that he's looking for will arise very, very soon. But I think here's the thing, right? He tried something. He attempted something against Spurs.
What did he
which
attempt?
I think
that
didn't
was
work
different.
out. He tried to put Wan-Bissaka on the left, which surprised me. Wan-Bissaka is not strong on the left. Okay, Dalot is better on the left. Because he's more versatile that way. So I thought that was a little bit of a setback. Having Wan-Bissaka on the left where he should have been on the right, and that could have actually balanced off. In terms of our defense. Apart from that, Eriksen starting in the first 11 was definitely wrong in my opinion because I didn't think Eriksen shined at all in the game. He was just coming off back from injury. I thought McTominay would have been a better choice since we have a few injuries with Casemiro as well. So I think McTominay would have been a better pick to start in that game as well, I think that went really wrong. And the other one was I wasn't very happy with Rashford being on the left. Because honestly,
but he had a big impact for you, man. He scored a goal from the left.
Yeah,
and then he also
he
set
scored
up
a goal
the
from the left.
Højlund.
But if you notice the game, Harry, I mean, I know you say you didn't watch the game, but if you watch the highlights or if you get a bit more, a chance to analyze the game a bit more, Rashford was playing on the left, but he didn't contribute so much more apart from that goal because every time he tried to cross the ball in from the left, he's playing the ball out. He's taking the ball to the byline, and the defenders just takes the ball away from him. Garnacho would have been a better choice to be on the left, and Rashford taking over on the right.
Actually, Ram, from what you're saying right now, and I want to get our viewers' thoughts on this as well, right? Yeah, this is a great point, like Eugene. Jose Mourinho is free again. Go get him. He's just been sacked by Roma. Obviously, the news out today.
No,
Jose Mourinho sacked by Roma. Maybe he's a good pick for you. Now, this is my thoughts, right, Ram. From whatever you're saying, and I want to get guys to chip in as well, right? Guys in the comments, hit the like, by the way. Subscribe to the channel as well. But whatever you're saying, right, sounds very Sunday league football to me. Sounds like how when we used to go and play in Sri Petaling or one. Hey, you play. Why you play this floor on the left? Play him on the right. You play better. Play this floor on defense. Right, left.
No, obviously, I'm talking more professional.
I'm talking about at this level of football, at this level of Premiership football, top level football. It really doesn't matter when you talk about Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. The way they play, right, they can switch players left to right. Gomez is playing on the left and in left back. You've got Diaz playing right, sometimes left. They're so fluid. It's all because the manager and the coaching staff have a philosophy and a style of play. If you buy into the philosophy, the style of play, the pattern of play, it doesn't really matter. We had a guy, Conor Bradley, come on and play right back the other day without Trent, but he played brilliantly because he knew his job. They all know their job from top to bottom in the club, what you're supposed to do in each position, because that's how they are brought up in terms of pattern of play. And you see that with Ange Postecoglou, which is why I'm not into the camp of give Ten Hag more time. Actually, I am. Give him as much time as you want. Because for Liverpool. But I mean, Ange Postecoglou has been in the job for 3 or 4 months or 5 months, And look at how they play, man. They have 7 players missing. They still have a style, a pattern of play, and they dominate the ball. Unai Emery is another classic example. Came into Aston Villa and they were relegation zone. Now they're in terms of form, among the top 3-4 teams over the last 1.5 years in the top 4. They've got a style, pattern of play with inferior players to United. So that's why I don't buy into this crap about, hey, give him time, give him time as the owner's fault. Don't buy that, man.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. I mean, a lot of people are saying that as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am frustrated. I'm absolutely frustrated with the way things are going on in the club. But
hey, by the way, Ram, as you're answering
yeah,
that, Sir Jim was at the game as well. Do you think he'd have been impressed with the way
no,
MU played?
I think he's looking for more now. Now, of course, he can see clearly what kind of players he wants to bring at the club, and now because he's going to be taking care of the footballing side of the team, which is good. That will help. The fans to stop pounding on the Glazers and focus on Sir Jim now. So I think that was the Glazers' plan all along, because I think they've been under scrutiny for so many years. I think they actually decided to make some sort of a change in terms of the footballing rights of the club. So well done to them, and hopefully Sir Jim can do something about it. But definitely, he's not
So you
impressed.
so you still think it's the player's fault and it's not the manager's fault?
No, 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 no. I'm not. I'm not saying it's 100% the player's fault. Obviously,
Mm.
the manager has a lot. A lot of questions has to be asked to the manager, of course, and how he's directing the team and so on and so forth. But then again, in my opinion, there's also a lot of players that I think should no longer be playing for Man United. At the same time. So there's a lot of things that strikes, a lot of things that strikes for me, and I think we need a lot more, better players coming in to rebuild, really, really rebuild the squad again. Start a clean slate, go all out, and get the best players possible next season.
Oh man, I really hope there are more fans like you who want Ten Hag at the wheel, lah, because that's good for all the other clubs, lah. Uh, anyway, but yeah, moving on. I want to give some time to Spurs as well. We've got Eugene in the chat. I think we have to give them kudos as well. We speak about
Yep.
United and how crap they've been and how poor they were, etc. But I think you got to give credit to Spurs, man. Playing away from home at Old Trafford. Apparently, they had a bit of a virus in the squad as well before the game. That's what I heard. I'm not sure about that, but they had a lot of players missing, and they turned on a performance, man. Played really well, came back twice. Their entire midfield was a new midfield compared to what they had been playing this season. Their attack was different without Kulusevski and Son. Timo Werner made his debut. I thought he was quite impressive, actually. He set up a goal for Bentancur, right? So he got an assist
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
So what do you think about Spurs, man? Impressive, Ram. Are they going to make top 4
Very.
for you?
I think they should make top four based on the performance they have been playing so far. Yes, they have had a few defeats here and there, but I think, as what you said earlier, which I echo your sentiment, because they do have a pattern of play. They do have an identity of football that they have at the team right now. So I think they should know they should definitely be in that thereabouts. And I think they will definitely make an impact. Of course, if they were to go into the Champions League next season as well. But definitely, yes. Hopefully, Ange Postecoglou is not a one-hit wonder or one-season wonder, as they say. I'm very impressed with his football, and I hope that, of course, for the benefit of Spurs, if they can continue playing this way, then who knows? It could break the egg. Maybe you guys might get a trophy.
What did you make of Timo Werner's performance, by the way?
Actually, I was very surprised
And
because
also the signing in general. Yeah.
I think it was just the right time, right place, the right time for him. Because there was a lot of injuries, of course, in Spurs, and I think he came at the right time. And of course, watching him play against United, I thought initially it was going to be like a mismatch for him, to try and find his way, like how he tried to find his way again. Remember, he was trying to find his way in Chelsea. He wasn't really performing. So I thought it was going to be some sort of a same type of performance from him. But I was impressed because he, like you said, he knew what he had to do. He had a clear direction from the manager. He knew what.
And I think that's the difference between him now and when he was a Chelsea, man. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
the main difference. He's
He
got a
only he only came offside once.
yeah. He's got a pattern of play. He's got a manager who trusts him, who plays attacking football, so he'll get the opportunities. He's got pace
Yeah.
in behind. He's got players around him who all want to attack. He's got people like Madison and Son who will supply him as well. I think he could be good, man. He's got to improve his finishing, obviously. I mean, his finishing has always been a bit sloppy, but if he does that, I think he's got the ingredients to be a good player for them, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And
The,
yes,
the
Eugene, I give him 2 or 3 more games. See
Yeah,
what
and
it is.
I've got to say, man, Eugene, you got to give me your thoughts. And so, Ramka, I didn't see the game, but I was quite impressed. Just looking at the stats and the physique and the about this the second buy that they made, the Radu Draguzin, the Romanian
Yeah,
centre back
yeah,
that they signed. He looks a bit
yeah.
of a beast, man, and his stats seem to be really good, very highly rated. Apparently, Bayern Munich were after him as well, and Spurs won the race. So, I mean, you watched him. I think he came off the bench or something. But what did you make of him?
I think it was too. I think it was too little time to really see what he's all about.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think he definitely looks a beast because he's quite tall, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken. And I think he could be like he could easily remind you of a Vidic,
Mm.
to put it
Hey, he
that
does. He
way.
does
I
give you
think
that Vidic feel, doesn't he? The
yes, he
tough
does
guy.
give it that kind of a tough guy feel where he'll just put his head, on the line, and that kind of thing. So I think he's definitely a prospect, a very strong prospect to lead the defensive line, for Spurs moving forward. What do you think, Eugene? What do you think about him? are you
Yeah,
are you
let
happy
us know.
with the
Any
signing?
Spurs fans, Eugene, any other Spurs fans, I'll give us your thoughts as well. But I think I've got to give credit, man. Eugene obviously is Levi out, Daniel Levi out, right? But credit where it's due, man. He's gone out early in the window and he's backed the manager, right? They obviously had an issue with squad depth. He's gone out early on. They knew Son was going, picked up Timo Werner. They knew Van de Ven obviously has had his coming back from a long injury. Christian Romero as well. So he went out and they've got a centre back for themselves in Draguzin, right? Radu Draguzin, right? So fair play, man. I think they're also going after a centre midfielder. I hear there's a strong interest from Spurs for Conor Gallagher as well. So that'll be interesting to see how it goes. But fair play, man. I think they're backing the manager, and I think Spurs, man. Oh wow, they could make the Champions League again.
They could definitely. And you know what's interesting, Harry? I mean,
Mm.
just to put it into context, right? It would be really interesting if you can find both Aston Villa and Spurs in the top four. It would be very
Yeah,
interesting.
interesting indeed. I think one thing we can say for a lot more certainty now, like, United will probably not be there, like. Ha 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 ha.
No, no,
But
no. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I'm not going to fight that. I don't think we are coming close anywhere near top four. I don't even think top five is going to be a possibility. So I think I'll be pretty content if we do finish somewhere in the sixth or seventh thereabouts.
oh, well, let's
Content.
see. Let's wait and watch. Let's quickly move on, Ram. Let's talk about the other huge game this weekend, man.
Oh, what a
Newcastle
game!
2, Man City. This was a cracker as well. This was the same game, St.
I
James's
actually
Park.
woke up. I actually woke up at 1:30 to watch this game, Hari. Yeah. Go on, but I'll tell you. Yeah, I watched this game.
I watched this game as well, and it was because obviously I wanted Newcastle to win. I wanted City to drop points. And I mean, to be honest, City started off well. They obviously took the lead with a brilliant Bernardo Silva goal, and then, I mean, Newcastle gave it a go, man. They counter-attacked twice. They were pushing. They scored a brilliant goal by Alexander Isak. What a player, man, Isak. And then literally 2 minutes after that, right, Anthony Gordon scored an absolute cracker again from the same position, whipped it into the far post. Obviously, Edison went off injured. But then, man, honestly, after that, they just absolutely dominated them in the second half. Man City didn't let Newcastle get out of their half in the second half. It was complete and utter domination. They just couldn't break through. And guess who came off the bench to kill the game?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. And he's the guy who makes me feel that, man, we're going to struggle to win this title, man. City are just going to go up 3 notches now with Kevin De Bruyne. What a player.
What a player. He literally passed the ball into the net when he came on. He passed the ball into the net. It was not even like, it didn't seem like it was an effort. When he scored. Don't you agree?
He passed the ball from outside the box into the net. And I don't know how he did it. I just picked the spot and put it in. But I think even more impressive than that was the pass he played to Oscar Bob, man. What a pass that was, bro. And I mean, and he didn't.
What a finish.
What a finish. And to think about the fact that he's come back from like a 4-month injury, his first game back in the league for a few, and he does that. What is he going to do when he's up to speed, man? It's such a scary thought for the league. Kevin De
Yeah,
Bruyne is on a different
I
level.
mean, he's a different level, Harry. I mean, but one thing I gotta say about this game though, I thought if watching this game when I saw Newcastle score the second goal, I thought Newcastle really were in with a very good chance of getting a third, and possibly even winning the game. Clean the game off in the first half itself.
But were you disappointed with their second half then? Because the second
I'm
half
very
they just sat in
Yeah,
a shell
they
almost.
were.
They didn't go out. They didn't express themselves.
This is what Newcastle did as a mistake. Now, I know Man City has a right to be complacent because of where they are. You know, I know Liverpool has a right to be complacent because of where you guys are as well, because you know how the game is going to go on. But Newcastle, I felt they were 2-1 up. They acted as if, all right, we got this game in the bag. We just have to defend, and it'll be fine. So I felt they were a bit complacent,
Do, do,
and
do, do
they
you do you actually think? Do you think it was that? It was them sitting on the lead to try and defend it out, or do you think it was City were just so good they couldn't get the ball off them in the second half?
no, because City will definitely do that in the second half. Every team knows that if they're coming against, they're coming to actually, at the back of a losing scoreline, they're definitely going to play like that. And Newcastle knew exactly what was going to happen. The way I saw Newcastle play was, okay, they're definitely going to come and attack at us. We are just going to play and park the bus for a while, and we're gonna actually play on the counter. That was their game plan, you know, and that to me smelled a lot of complacency. Because if I was Newcastle, I'll be like, you know what, we're 2-1 up, it's still not safe. We should still try and go. If we concede a goal, it's okay, but keep the momentum going.
Yeah, I
That would
agree
have
with
been
that,
my
man. I
game
think
plan.
I think like yeah, I think going off the boil a bit and dropping the momentum. The momentum is the word is key, right?
Yes,
They
yes,
they
yes,
they they
yes.
they they develop a defensive mentality, and then it's very hard to change that back again once you
Because
sit
they were
into a
on a high.
defensive
They were on a
mentality.
high in the first half, right, Harry? They were
Yep,
on a high. Why
yep, yep.
why bring that all the way down? This doesn't make sense to me. That's why Newcastle had themselves to blame for this loss. They could have won.
How good is Kevin De Bruyne though, man?
Oh man. Oh, this guy, I think he's what, 33, 32, 33 right
32,
now.
32.
I think, he doesn't look like, he's 32. I think he looks like he's looking to play for another 5 to 10 years.
Let
With his passing abilities, it's just amazing.
me ask you a question, man. Where do you think he ranks in the top midfielders the Premier League has ever seen?
This is a tough one, Harry. But this is what I want to say, right? I think he is a very complete player, in my opinion, in terms of being a midfielder. So I'm definitely going to give. I'm going to put him. I'm going to put him just above David Beckham. I feel. In terms of his
Yeah.
passing ability, in terms of
What
passing
about what
ability.
about what about when you compare the top midfielders this league has ever seen? You talk about Paul Scholes, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Patrick Vieira. Where does he rank in that for you?
I think with the modern football, the modern game that we are seeing nowadays,
Yeah,
he's definitely got
yeah,
to be number one, man. He's definitely got to be number one. There's no
no
question
question.
about it, because Paul Scholes will be next on my mind, of course. But Paul Scholes, at that era where he was playing, is different. You can't really compare. But in the
I
modern
think
game
he's
right
more of a
now,
Steven Gerrard type player, man. Scores goals, scores big goals, drives from midfield, good
but
crossing,
do you think he's able to
passing.
actually surpass Steven Gerrard? I think he's easily going to be able to surpass Steven Gerrard in terms
Uh,
of the
in
way he's
terms of
playing.
titles and all, of course, yeah, because he's played in a better team. But I think in terms of influence on a team, man, I don't think anyone can surpass Steven Gerrard, lah. But that's just my opinion. Maybe it's a biased opinion, lah. But he's definitely up there, lah. Kevin De Bruyne. He's
For
definitely
sure,
definitely up there,
for
man.
sure.
All right, man. Before we wrap this up, Ram, we got a question. So let's address this question. It's from Keshav, our avid viewer Keshav. He says, "Just hi guys, just want to ask you all your opinions regarding the thoughts on West Ham season so far, our signings as well, and our Conference League trophy from last season. How you think we will do?" Uh, Ram, you want to go first?
Well, I think if you ask me, Jose Mourinho is free, so maybe you should sack Moyes and snap Jose Mourinho for Spurs. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
because you guys have seen enough of David Moyes doing what he does, which has been brilliant. But I think in this season, you guys are still doing well, in my opinion.
Doing very
I
well.
think doing very, very well. I think don't have to worry too much in that sense. But I think West Ham just needs to continue the momentum in scoring goals and focusing on every game as much as possible, game per game. And don't worry about the other teams below or above them. I think if they do that, I think they could go pretty much quite far this season. And maybe it won't even be in the Conference League. Maybe they could be in the Europa League. This could be a step up, and I think that is possible for West Ham.
Yeah, man. I think they're already in the Europa League this year. Obviously,
Yeah,
they won the Conference League last year. The Europa League
yeah.
this year. West Ham.
Wait for next
Yeah, so
season.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they will be. Yeah.
firstly, brilliant performance to win the Conference League last year. Obviously, Declan Rice was key in that as well. So that was fantastic. First European trophy, first trophy in a long, long time for West Ham. Terrific, man. I think it ended really well for you guys. Now, I actually thought West Ham will drop off a lot this season, and I've been very surprised, pleasantly surprised. So, because they sold Declan Rice, who was their key, he was their captain, he was their driving force, he was everything. They sold him, but I've got to give West Ham's owners, their sporting director, manager, a lot of credit, man, because they reinvested that money really, really well. They brought in
Good business.
really good business. They brought in Edson Alvarez, who's a brilliant defensive midfielder for Ajax. He settled in really well, Alvarez. And then
Kudus.
they brought in James Ward-Prowse, who I think is
Yeah.
exceptional again in midfield. He's a workhorse. He's a dedicated guy. He dies for the cause. He's got brilliant set piece delivery, which is West Ham's strength. So West Ham's strength has always been set pieces, and now you've got a guy who delivers the best set piece in the league: corners, free kicks. He scores from free kicks. He delivers a great cross from corners and free kicks as well. So brilliant signing. And then the icing on the cake was Mohamed Kudus, man. I think he's a brilliant player. I'm surprised West Ham got him. I'm actually a bit
Yeah.
upset Liverpool didn't go for him because I really like him.
I wanted him for
Mohamed
United as
Kudus.
well, to be honest.
I think
I'm not kidding.
he's a quality player. He's already scored some big goals for you guys. He's settled in well. He is a really, really good player, man. I'd be surprised if you keep hold of him more than 2 seasons because I think he's destined for like the top. He's a really, really good player. And I think actually all this business was brilliant by West Ham, but the best piece of business by West Ham was keeping hold of Lucas Paqueta. Because I know Man City were after him in the summer, and then there were some issues that came about. But he has been a rebel. He's a brilliant player, man. He's got
His
skills.
touches. His
touch,
touches amazing.
his touches, his skills. He's a hard worker. He tackles. He's got everything, man. His touches, his passes. Some of the passes and assists he had recently are out of this world. He is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League this season. And I'm telling you honestly, man, you watch him, he's a joy to watch. I'm surprised he's still playing for you guys. And I'm certain he won't be playing for West Ham next year. I'm sorry to say, Keshav, but I'm certain he's that good a player. He's a Real Madrid type player. That's how good he is. But yeah, man, fair play. Business has been good. I think the key is, can you keep hold of some of these players? Because I think that may be a bit of a challenge going into next year. The other one I'm going to mention as well. So I'm very quickly. The other player I have to mention as well is he's one of the top scorers in the league this season, is Jared Bowen. He's gone up like 3 levels from last year, man. Consistency.
Because of the support.
Pretty much every game.
Because of the support that he's been getting in midfield, he's just brilliant.
Exactly. You got James Ward-Prowse supplying you. You got Paqueta supplying you. And then Bowen used to play on the right. And I think now Kudus plays from the right. So Bowen is allowed to play from the center. And he's scoring a lot of goals. He's consistently scoring goals. I think they're a really good team, man. Really, really good team, West Ham. And Moyes is doing a good job. So, yeah, let's see how that goes. But I think you might lose a couple of players, which honestly going into next year. So you've got to see how well you do this year.
It reminds me of the Tevez and Mascherano's situation, when they joined West Ham, because they've got such good players in the club, but they were not able to actually hold on to them because they were, of course, part of the most elite players, and they were playing in the bigger clubs. So I think what's going to change for West Ham is if you guys continue to win trophies, challenge for the top 4, and basically pull off a Leicester, if you can. I think then you're going to attract a lot more players. But I think kudos to all the players that you guys have in the team. I think Keshav, you are going to be enjoying your season. Hopefully things go well for you and West Ham.
Man, I think really kudos to them. The investment of the Declan Rice money has been brilliant. And they've bought the right players as well, man. It's about keeping hold of them now as much as they can. Uh,
Harry, interesting pun, right? Interesting pun. Just talking about it, right?
hmm.
Uh, Declan Rice, of course, Rice, and of course, Kudus coming in, of course, from the investment after they got the money. Do you realize that there's this biryani restaurant called Kudus in town in Bajaj,
Yes,
India?
Kudus, Nasi Kanda. Kudus
Yes,
Nasi
yes,
Kanda, brother.
yeah. So that was the pun I wanted to talk about, man. Can
Yeah,
you
man.
imagine that?
Kudus
How
Nasi Kanda. You go there, you can have Kudus and Declan Rice all in one plate.
Yes,
Good
yes.
job, like good job. Uh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Anyway, guys, that's the roundup for the weekend. Obviously, we wanted to focus on the two big games. It's a shorter show today, obviously, with less games. We will cover the next weekend's games as well. Ram, over to you, man.
All right, guys, of course, do subscribe to our channel, comment, give us a like, and of course, share, our channel, of course, with your fellow football friends. We do want to bring you better content in the future as well, more special episodes as well coming your way. We are excited. We are looking forward to it. So here we go, signing off from the Plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fan. Wait, lah. Hey, yeah. Okay, okay.
Bye bye, guys.
Classic.